If you're waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning and you can't figure out why, you're probably telling yourself one of two things. Either you're getting older or you're just a light sleeper. And I want to challenge both of those beliefs today, because in most cases, waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, it isn't a sleep problem. It's actually a metabolic problem. And once you understand what's actually happening inside of your body at that hour, the solution becomes a lot clearer. So here's what most men over 50 don't know. Between midnight and 4 o'clock in the morning, your body is doing some of the most important recovery work. Your cardiovascular system is using that window to lower your heart rate, your blood pressure, so your arteries get a genuine rest from all the pressure they handled during the day. You miss that window consistently, and research suggests that risk profiles for cardiovascular events begin to shift. Not because of aging, because of interrupted recovery. And that's just one system. That same disruption is happening in parallel across your hormones, your blood sugar regulation, your immune responses, and your brain's waste clearance process. So when your body pulls you awake at 3 o'clock in the morning, night after night, it's not just stealing your sleep, it's interrupting a repair cycle that your body can't reschedule. And that's why it matters more than most men actually realize. Here's the mechanism that most doctors never explain. Your liver, it's your overnight fuel source. So while you sleep, it's quietly releasing glucose into your bloodstream to keep your brain and your organs running. And if that supply drops too low, well, your body doesn't wait. It releases cortisol. And here's the part that changes everything. Cortisol is not just a stress hormone. It's a wakefulness hormone. That's its job at 3 o'clock in the morning. Raise your blood sugar and then bring you toward consciousness to do it. So when cortisol spikes to rescue your blood sugar at 3 o'clock in the morning, you wake up. And sometimes with your heart beating slightly faster than it should. And sometimes with your mind suddenly racing. Sometimes with a vague anxiety that you can't explain. And that feeling has a name. It has a mechanism. And it has nothing to do with getting older. And here's the second layer that most people don't know about. Cortisol follows a daily rhythm. It's naturally at its lowest point in the first half of the night. And then it begins rising to the early morning hours to prepare your body to wake up. That rise typically takes place somewhere between 3 and 5 in the morning. For men with a well-regulated cortisol rhythm, that rise, it's gradual. For men whose stress response is dysregulated, well, that rise can be abrupt. Sharp enough to pull you out of sleep an hour or two before you actually need to wake up. This isn't insomnia in the traditional sense. It's your body's alarm system going off earlier than it should. There is a chemical sequence hidden in an evening drink that most people have never been told about. And it's one of the most common triggers for exactly this pattern. And here's how it works. Alcohol, it's metabolized quickly into sugar. Blood sugar rises. Insulin is released to bring it back down. That's all normal, but alcohol also suppresses something called gluconeogenesis. That's your liver's ability to produce and release glucose on demand, the same backup system we just talked about. So a few hours after that evening drink, well, your blood sugar drops and your liver can't compensate the way it normally would. Cortisol, it has to step in, and there's your 3 o'clock wake up. This is why so many men in this age group fall asleep without any difficulty and then find themselves wide awake at 3 in the morning with no obvious reason why. Well, the reason exists. It's just happening at a biochemical level most people never look at. There's one more piece I want to add here because it's relevant to almost every man watching this. Testosterone is produced primarily during deep sleep, specifically during the slow wave sleep phases that happen in the first half of the night. And as men age, well, deep sleep naturally becomes shorter and lighter. And that's partly biological, but it's made significantly worse by disrupted sleep architecture. And every time you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and you lie there for 30 or 45 minutes, you're pulling yourself out of the sleep cycles that support testosterone production. Over weeks and months, this can show up as lower energy, reduced motivation, changes in body composition, and in mood shifts. Not because of age alone, but because the sleep that supports hormonal recovery, it's being interrupted. So let's go back to those two beliefs I mentioned at the beginning. The first belief, I'm just getting older. Aging does affect sleep, and that's true. But consistent 3 o'clock in the morning waking isn't simply a feature of aging. It's usually a signal. Blood sugar instability, cortisol dysregulation, the liver's reduced ability to buffer an evening drink. Those are metabolic issues, and metabolic issues respond to metabolic solutions. That second belief, I'm just a light sleeper now. Light sleeping and disrupted sleeping are different things. And if you're falling asleep easily, but waking, reliably around the same time every night, well, that pattern points to physiology, not personality, not age, not just the way you are now. Your body, it's communicating something, and the question is whether you're curious enough to listen to what it's saying. So, what can you actually do this week? Let me give you 2 places to start, and I want to be really clear. These are starting points. The sleep reset checklist I've put together goes significantly deeper into each of these areas, but begin here. The first, well, your pre-sleep nutrition window. If blood sugar instability is triggering your 3 o'clock cortisol spike, well, a small balanced snack before bed can give your liver enough to work with throughout the night. Something with a little protein and then a little fat. A small handful of nuts, a couple tablespoons of nut butter, a few slices of turkey or chicken. Not a meal, not sugar. Just enough to reduce the drop that's triggering the alarm. For some men, this one change actually produces a noticeable improvement within a week. The checklist covers exactly when to eat this, how much, and which combinations tend to work best for men in this age group. The second thing, your evening alcohol timing. Now that you understand the biochemistry, you can make a more informed decision about how you use that window. Giving your liver more time to clear alcohol before your blood sugar naturally drops in the early morning hours can meaningfully reduce those 3 o'clock interruptions. The checklist includes a simple framework for thinking about this. Not rules, just the timing data that helps you make your own call. Here's what I want you to take away today. Your body is not failing you. It's just trying to protect you. That 3 a.m. wake up isn't random. It's your body doing exactly what it was designed to do. Managing blood sugar, regulating cortisol, maintaining stability through the night. The system isn't broken. It may just be working harder than it should have to. And when you understand why it's working that hard, you can give it what it needs to settle down. The body is remarkably adaptable. Small, consistent changes in the right direction often produce meaningful results. You don't have to overhaul your entire life. You just have to start paying attention to what your body has already been trying to tell you. If today's video gave you a clear picture of what your body is doing at 3 a.m., the sleep reset checklist takes it further. It covers the specific nutrition timing, the cortisol rhythm markers worth tracking, the blood work that can tell you whether blood sugar instability is actually the driver for you, and what to do about it. And men in this age group that have worked through it consistently tell me the same thing. They wish someone had explained this 10 years earlier. The link is in the description below. And if you want to go deeper, if you want actual data about what's happening in your body specifically, information about what VitalScan is there as well. Because understanding the mechanism is the first step. Knowing your own numbers is where it becomes personal. I'll see you in the next video.